together. Yeah. Right, you look at the wonderful colors we managed to return. They were cast in dust and soot. And the recent technology allowed to dissolve the soot and dust and return the vivid colors back. You see the vivid colors? This is exactly the way the temple was. And these are original colors. We've not had any colors today. True. If somebody been here 1 year ago, the ceiling was all in black, this roof was completely dark. Dust and soot, and nothing from those colors was visible. I think the French been here before years ago, I can remember that. This is actually looked after. A chemical solution provided for the archaeological organizations was like a magical thing. Had allowed them to dissolve the soot from the roof ceiling and return the layers of colors in the way it was back to 2000 years ago time, as was left intact and viewed by, for example, the artist, famous artist of Scotland, David Roberts. If you look at the bookshop, or even at the shop we have there in the cruise, I'm sure they have postcards or something referred to David Roberts. David Roberts, an artist lived in Scotland, made a visit to the Holy Land and Egypt and painted every single monument and village. And if you look at the picture he had for Dendera, it's exactly matched what you see today. So back to 1800, exactly 1836 precisely, the visit was done, and he went to Petra, went to Luxor, went everywhere, and went to great pyramids of Giza and painted those pyramids while flooded. You have a floca and sail to Chaos for the time. So, see this scene, this will be done in the future. This is not really finished, but you've done the left and the right, and all the ceiling text is astronomical. So it speaks about astronomy, the waning of the moon, the waxing of the moon too, and the journey of Ra for immortality. Of course, we're not really able to see there, you will a couple of hands, but if you just stand where I can stand myself, you can see the moon disk. And that moon disk has a massive eye in it. Eye of Horus. Eye of Horus means rebirth. So this is the waxing of the moon. The moon has waning, waxing. So that's the waxing of the moon. And the waxing is represented by the eye, which is a rebirth eye. That disk over there. See that? See the only sun disk with a big eye. Huge eye. So this is one of the things refers to the knowledge about astronomy that they had known about the moon's status of waning and waxing. And more than that, of course, the detailed journey of Ra, describing and calling each star with its name. So he had named every star almost. So stars we know today had Greek names. Original Greeks had taken the names from Egyptians. So the Orion, for example, used to be called Osiris. And so on.
How are they cleaning this?
Well, they had, I have no idea yet about the components of that chemical material, or chemical solution. But it seemed they had a brush soaked in a liquid. And they just brushed the soot so it dissolved straight. And the thing is really smart, it does not affect the colors underneath. It's an amazing thing. They're only doing that on Dendera and willing to go and look after the rest of things. So in a couple of years from now, back to Egypt, you see things everywhere. And these are the original things. We don't have any quality of material that we can ever afford to replace colors like this. No modern touch apart from dissolving the soot, returning things to it the way it was, which is, I found myself, a miracle of technology.
Is this where the cat is?
What's that, sorry?
Can you ask about that lift where the cat is?
There is a room where there's a phrase about the cat. I'll show you that. By the government. You get a vizier sent by the Romans to check about what you made. He reduced the first part of the temple. They would never ever stay long to see the inside. That could be one of the reasons. And also explains why a blank cartouche is made. Blank cartouche. You haven't seen that before. There's a room for everybody here. If you'd like to sit around and say for a minute. Be here for a minute. Well, knowing or having less knowledge about the name of the fake pharaoh, the king rules the country, can lead someone to trouble. If you write the wrong name in the cartouche frame, the cartouche and his successor for a reason came to check up on the temple and see no mention to him, you'd be really straight to be punished. Straight punishment. So the best thing we had is to hang or bend the whole case. Blank cartouche is done already on plaster using stencil and pressed characters on wet plaster and ready if you get what can support that the king seriously visiting them. We have the molds ready and the name will be pressed straight through the plaster. You give him a couple of hours, the whole thing's will be done. If you make the wrong name, make the wrong choice, and the king suddenly surprises you, the whole temple will be abandoned. Next morning or next year, you have another temple called Hathor somewhere else. So Dendera will fade, wane, people starve. So that's one of the reasons, very, very cunning reason, not writing a name. Making things identical. That pharaoh could be anybody. And he could be anybody who's holding a wooden plow, and she's Hathor anyway. So the basic things still exist, but you need to specify the name. You're not doing anything, not taking any risk. So all our blank names, dragging or making most experts mad, you're not really for sure knowing who. But the quality of plaster is humble, or the molds were overused, and they're not refined at all. That explains that it could be done during the Roman dynasty, where neglection and poverty was common. So that's not exactly the same thing I showed you outside. You've seen marvelous quality. So here is humble, so different treatment, lower cost. Right. So all of them are for unknown king who is serving Hathor. Same thing. One uncertain king is presenting offerings to Hathor. So the black ceiling is just for a while. The soot will vanish once they look after this area. This dark ceiling in soot has colors underneath, exactly similar to the outside. If we treated, we are surprised to see that things being written really, which I can't read and nobody can read now. Easy. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Again, deep sockets for the gate, for giant stone hinges attached through each end, one from the floor and one from the roof, and had a key. And the key will be given to the high priest only. You can see that the gradual elevation made to the floor represent the permission we must give to some and not give to others. I mean, if you're allowed to be here, you must be high priest. As you step on the higher level, see the serve of God. Well, you can't really access even if you're high priest without permission from the God. And if you are the king himself, you must take permission from Hathor. Can you see that king, what he's doing? He's knocking the door of the shrine. And Hathor must say, okay. And if she would say, okay, he has two keys for the door, not only one. He's about to unlock twice. Then, if he is already in, to be serving Hathor. The woman is Hathor, him is unknown, blank cartouche, not certain who. And you can see he's raising his arms, and there's a star. This is the word worship, and makes his palm open that God can see, and not anybody else. But you can see he's burning incense. So Hathor, that's the marriage of Hathor, the marriage of ship or ark, and the one of Horus. So you see the two arcs made with them. Of course, they are small today, smaller size. But the original one must be now, or must exist now. So see, two of them are made. See what you see right, you see left side, you like a mirror image, reflecting the whole thing, and read most of things, the 90% identical. This is the Holy of Holies. What we lost on this room was the niche, where the gold statue up was that we left behind, and a pedestal or an altar really block was built for wine and things like that, and it could be more. The rooms around for storing linen, textile, perfume, wine. As